My name is Stu Griffin. I am an alcoholic. I've been an alcoholic for years, and it's time for me to quit. I'm making this series of videos because I think it's important to record this. This is going to be an experience. It's going to be a journey, and I think it's important to have this for posterity on the internet for everyone to access in case they are thinking of going through the same thing, in case they want to see what a person has to go through to do this. I think it's important for this to be public. This is day one. I woke up this morning and there was this new video on my channel that I'd never seen before. And obviously I was very curious about it. So I clicked on it and it was a video of me telling my viewers, admitting that I had an alcohol problem and promising them that I was going to quit. And I watched very, very closely to this video because I wanted to know what I'd said, because I have no recollection of making that video. I have no recollection of editing that video. I have no recollection of uploading that video. I made an icon for that video. I don't remember it. I don't remember any of that. So, and this isn't the first time that's happened. I have woken up in the morning and I have, sat up and kind of splashed water on my face and got a drink of water and sat down and started editing a video. And after I'd edited the video, I discovered that I had already edited it and rendered it, and it was ready for upload. I'd already done it. So there is obviously a good reason for me. I remember thinking for months that I needed to make that video on quitting. And I just woke up one morning and it was there. So I guess I decided to do it. And I'm glad I did, because I'm going to hold myself to that. In this series, I want to talk about how alcoholism has affected me, how it's affected people I know. And at the same time, I want everyone to see how quitting alcohol affects me. I think that is a very important thing to watch. It may not be easy to watch at times, and I apologize if it's not, but I think it's necessary, because alcoholism is serious. I don't know what's going to come out of this. I hope it's going to be something positive for a lot of people. So the reason that I actually started drinking in the first place was because of social pressure. And I don't mean that friends around me were pressuring me to drinking. I drank alcohol responsibly for a great many years. I'd go out on the weekends and I'd drink, and I wouldn't drink during the week. I wouldn't drink any other time. There were a lot of other times that, I was just, for years, it was a responsible drinking thing. It's like, we're going to go out on the weekend. We're going to have a dinner. We're going to have 3 or 4 beers, get smashed. Great. Have a party. Awesome. And that was that. What started me on alcoholism was because I actually am very anxious around large groups of people. I'm a shy person. I know that sounds stupid with the material that I've made. I like to think I'm a good actor, but large groups of people make me very anxious. I get a lot of anxiety, and I found myself going to conventions multiple 12, 13, 14, 15 times a year, doing shows on stage, being around a lot of people. And I found that if I was drunk, that made it easier. That made it a bit easier for me to deal with all the crowds and all the people and all the attention. And so I would wake up, and before I left my hotel room, I would be drunk. The problem came when I moved to California. And I moved in with my future fiance. We became tangled into this relationship. He was making the money. I was doing I was being the housewife. And there was this wonderful 7-year gap of anything on my channel. And that's what I was doing. I was being a faithful husband to someone that I loved. But the problem was that I was able to get drunk whenever I wanted to. One of the reasons that I've been able to drink for so long is because there are no outward symptoms. Right now I've counted, there'll be more about this later. I've counted. I've had 10 shots of vodka at this point right now. I don't have a lot of outward symptoms. I don't get emotional. I don't get abusive. I don't get crazy. I don't do crazy things. I don't stumble around and fall down. And that's why this has gone under the radar for me for so long. Because, if I had actually exhibited some kind of emotional differences, some signs, then people may have told me earlier, do you need help? But because it's so under the radar, that didn't happen. I'm an extremely functional alcoholic, and that's not a good thing. The reason I'm quitting alcohol right now is because it's affecting my health badly, and that's something that I will get more into as this series goes on, because it's far too much for just one video. Mostly for me, it's because I feel my brain going to hell. My work is not as best. It's not as good as it could be. I can't think of words. My brain doesn't work. And I'm playing video game videos, and I know they could be so much better. I know that the stuff that I'm doing could be so much better. I know that I've had moments where I'm sitting there going, hey, I could make a rant right now, but I'm too drunk to do it. Now, a lot of people out there, since my quitting video, have been suggesting, Jude, dump it down the drain. Dump it down the drain. Don't drink it. Just dump it down. Give it to a friend. Dump it down. Dump it down. Dump it down. They only have the best intentions. They really, really do. I know that they're just trying to help and trying to support me. And I love you guys for that. I really do. However, that's not the way it works with alcohol. There's another camp of people who are doctors, people who have worked at addiction centers, and alcoholics who are yelling at me, for God's sake, do not just stop. And they're right, because that could be dangerous to me if I just stop. I mean, and I know where it comes from. It comes from, the idea of cigarette addiction. Because cigarettes, they put nothing in your body that you ever need again. There's nothing that a cigarette puts in your body that you ever need to have again. You can just take your half pack of cigarettes and throw it away, and you're fine. It's not the same case with alcohol. Alcohol changes your body chemistry. It changes the way that your body gets nutrients. It changes the way that your brain functions. And if you just slam the brakes on that, you can wind up in the hospital, and in fact, you can actually die. So on day one, right here, what I'm doing and what I've done at this point is I have drank normally, and I've measured. I have had 11 shots of vodka, and that's this evening. I had another similar number this morning. So about 22 shots of vodka a day is what I'm doing. That's not good. So here's what we're going to do. 22 shots of vodka a day. I'm going to reduce it by 1 shot a day. And I'm going to drink 1 less shot in the morning, the evening, the morning, the evening, until I get down to a point where it's safe for me to actually quit. Because if I quit right now, if I just stop and I just, as some of you have said, throw this bottle down the drain, I could very likely wind up in the hospital. I've taken a day to measure out how much I drink, and it's apparently about 22 shots a day. And that's got to stop. So I'm going to cut back. I'm going to cut this as I'm going along, and I'm going to give you guys updates every day until it starts getting a little bit better, and then it may actually taper off. But I'm going to let you guys know how I'm doing. I'm going to kick this. I'm going to do it. I'll talk to you guys again very soon.